Oh, it just he really wanted me to. He really worked on my using my size a lot because I was like John Nord. I was a big guy in Crush, and when you're that type of a guy, you should work different than the smaller, quick guys. And he really emphasized that and worked with me on it and helped me tremendously become a good big guy there at the time when I was learning the business.
Yeah. Two-time NWA Pacific Northwest Tag Team Champions with the Grappler, and you can't deny that. It's a staple of that Portland territory that ended up going out of business, and there's not a lot of people that can still talk about it. But you just named a bunch of people. It was a lot of big guys. So obviously with the John Nord and a Crush, how did you feel coming in at an early age, kind of going up with those guys and seeing how those guys treated themselves as big in the ring?
Yeah, I mean, especially Johnny. I mean, Nord was a big, because he'd been doing it for a while. Brian was a couple of years ahead of me, and he was getting going. But Nord had been at it a while, and he really knew how to emphasize the big guy and, worked like a Stan Hansen or a Bruiser Brody and stuff like that. And so you kind of learn to emulate that and learn to work towards that type of way when you're out there working. Crush was kind of a little bit different, but he was a good one. But I'd say John Nord and Lynn Denton helped me the most when I was first starting out.
Yeah, and Crush coming back too from his time in the WWF because he was only there for a short amount of time, and then when Demolition ended, before they brought him back, he was back in Portland, and that was now seeing a guy.
That's right. You're right. You're good memory. That's good memory.
Thank you very much. I try very hard, but he's a guy coming back into the territory, having tasted the big time, and you're obviously, you're getting your, gritting your teeth, you're getting your chops all shined up and ready to go on the main stage. Do you look at a guy like him and say, what can I learn now from Crush, also a younger guy at that time?
Yeah, and he was. That's where he helped a lot when he came back and would show us certain things and kind of explain things and working and stuff like that. And at that time, working with Eddie and those guys and that Demolition thing taught him a lot too, because those guys were great big men workers too. And so that helped him, and so he'd share those knowledges about, how to work as a big guy, stay big, use your size, don't just bump around all the place, make the guy work for the bump and all that stuff like that. So it was good. I mean, those guys were great help. I think I always enjoyed John Nord and Crush. Those were great guys. And then Scott, the wrestler too. We worked together a lot too. Scott Norton. I don't know if you remember him. Crush.
Absolutely.
I mean, the pro wrestler. Yeah, we worked a lot together. We worked there and in Japan and stuff. And he was another big guy that was a good worker too. That we'd work big matches. We worked the Texas Rope match and all that stuff. So had a lot of fun working with him too.